throw report correct? Can you throw 90?
I said it a little earlier. That's a pretty bold statement from Ryan Flaherty. He's not too far off, but 90 is a tough task. I don't hope on throwing that, so we'll keep my arm a little under that.
Josh, have you allowed yourself to appreciate kind of the fact of 5 years ago you were asking kind of anybody to look at you, and now you're standing in a space where the whole eyes of the league and the sports world are on?
100%. I mean, a few years ago I was in junior college, so taking this all in, and it's a really surreal moment. Just kind of see, everything that I've dreamt of as a kid. It's kind of falling into place. And if you knew who I was 3 years ago, I don't think you would say this is possible. So it's been really cool.
Josh, why is that?
I mean, I was at junior college. I was begging teams to, give me a scholarship. Sending emails out and hoping to hear back from them. And I got one opportunity that was with the University of Wyoming, and thankfully, and they gave me an opportunity, and I took advantage of it.
Josh, if you're taken #1 overall by the Cleveland Browns, you'll be pegged to try to turn around a franchise. If you've never done that before, how would you go about trying to turn around a franchise that has been the bottom of the league for a long time now?
Well, I don't know, because I've never done it before. But I'd go in there with everything that I have, try to instill a winning mindset and that type of attitude. Trying to become a leader of the team, getting with the vets of the locker room, and understanding what we needed to do to try to turn things around. A couple years ago, Wyoming went 2-10. The next year, we went 8-6, won the Mountain West Division title. So, I'm not saying it was the same situation, but I've been in something very similar. And it's football. And I love football. Everything I can do to play this game, I'm going to do. And if they're willing to step out on the ledge and take me with the number one overall pick, I'm going to give them everything that I have.
Josh, have you gotten a chance to meet Dan Marino between the Senior Bowl and here? I know he's been around both times watching you.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet. I saw him standing at the Senior Bowl sideline one time. It's kind of cool to look over there and see him, just kind of knowing the type of success he had with the Dolphins. He's obviously one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game, and looking forward to meeting him.
What's your impression of Adam Gase in terms of personality? He's one of the younger coaches, and also his specialty is quarterbacks.
Yeah, I get along very well with him. I met him at the Senior Bowl and kind of talked with him the other day. He's a younger guy, and he's got a really good personality. He's a super positive guy, and I'm meeting with him tonight, so I'm looking forward to that too.
What kind of farm did you grow up on, and what were your chores like?
It was about a 2,000-acre operation. My dad owned 1,000 acres of it. It's strictly row crops, so cotton, cantaloupe, and wheat. During the summers, helping my dad move irrigation pipe, picking cotton, picking weeds in the cotton field, driving disc tractors, whatever the case may be. It wasn't an everyday thing, and my dad kind of experienced that throughout his high school career. He was going before school and after school, and he didn't want to put us through that. So our out was sports, and that's what we did. We stayed competitive year-round to try to stay off the field as much as we can, but we did help out quite a bit.
Josh, what are you doing to improve your accuracy, and how is it coming along?
Yeah, so I'm working with Jordan Palmer, obviously with Sam Darnold and Kyle Allen down in San Clemente. I like to call it Sam Clemente. That's where he's from. So, just working on consistent footwork. Every throw that I had this past season where I missed, it was derived from my feet. So trying to put myself in the most uncomfortable position, getting back to the same base, short front stride, letting everything else follow through and sequence consistently. And hopefully, we're getting close. And hopefully, when we step on the field tomorrow and throw, people see improvement. I feel improvement, and I feel like whenever my feet are set, I'm as accurate as anybody.
Josh, why were last year? I saw a report you.
Yeah, I did come here last year. I was for this NCAA student athlete symposium thing. They kind of invited some of the top players in football. Just kind of get a feel what the combine's like, kind of see the experience of some of the other guys, and at the same time talk to players that were going through this thing. So it was a really good eye opener for me, and I'm super pumped that I got to see last year what was going to happen, and kind of seeing it through now.
What attributes do you think separate you from the other quarterbacks?
I'm sorry, say that again?
What attributes do you think separate you from the other quarterbacks?
Obviously the size. I think I'm the biggest guy here. I'm weigh the most. I'm not particularly proud of that, but the things you see on the field, the arm strength and mobility. A thing that I pride myself on is my competitive nature. I'm the type of guy who the only thing that I want to do is win, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. I don't care how we get it done. As long as it gets done, that's kind of how people value you and kind of rank you among other quarterbacks, just how you win.
Do you and Sam have a friendly rivalry going on about, who's going to go number one and, that sort of thing when you're working out?
We don't really talk about it that much. It's been super great to get to know him. Obviously, we're living together and throwing with him, and kind of in that aspect, yeah, we want to throw better than each other when we're out in the field. And but he's one of the greatest guys I've met. He's we've become really good friends, and it's just really cool because obviously he's USC guy. He's had all the media, and he knows what he's doing. He's a very good quarterback, and any team that gets him is going to be super lucky. At the same time, we're also throwing with Kyle Allen, and he's throwing throw for throw with us, and he's just as good as anybody I think here. And it's been a super blessed type of opportunity to go down and throw with Sam and Kyle and work with Jordan Palmer every day.
Josh, is Fireball kind of like really behind you in this? Like, what's the vibe like there when you go home about how much they're in this process with you?
It's awesome, and I get texts and calls from everybody back home just wishing me luck, and sometimes it's a little crazy to get back to every single one of them. I can't thank them enough for everything they've done, but the support's been tremendous. I wasn't able to play in San Jose State this year, and I think people knew that going into it, but we still had hundreds of people from Fireball there. It's about a 2.5-3 hour drive, and I think if I was playing in that game, we would have had half the town there, which is just unbelievable that the support that they have for me. And every time I go home, it's just super awesome to see the kids smiling, and the sports teams are doing exceptionally well. My sister just won their semifinal game. They're playing the district championship tonight, so I can't wait to see the outcome of that. I'm super pumped for her, and just the whole town of Fireball. That I'm super glad that they're on my side.
Josh, a lot of people make a big deal about you played at Wyoming, lesser competition. How will that translate in the NFL for you, and how do you think it will translate in the NFL?
You see a lot of smaller school guys go on to the NFL and have success. Carson Wentz, Derek Carr, for example. Carson Wentz would have been the MVP this past season had he not gotten hurt. The transition from year 1 to year 2 was exceptional for him. I was able to talk to him last year. I haven't talked to him much this year, but just knowing that we played in the same system, obviously people like to compare me to him, and I look at that as a compliment. He's a fantastic football player, fantastic quarterback, and I take those highly that people put me in the same sentence as him because he's a really good one.
Josh, what do you want to show at the workouts?
Best quarterback in the draft?
Say that again?
Do you believe you're the best quarterback in the draft?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I don't mean to say that in a cocky way, but I think every quarterback should think that. If you're not thinking that you're the best quarterback in this draft, you probably shouldn't be here. Everybody does things well in their own aspect, and we're all different. We all have our pluses, our minuses, but if you don't have the mindset that you're the best quarterback in this draft, you're not going to fare well in this league.
John, you would go number 2 to the Giants. You get to work and learn from Eli Manning, but you'd also have to sit behind him. What about that scenario for you?
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I've obviously met Eli Manning at the Manning Passing Academy. He's a super reserved guy that he knows his stuff. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Beating Tom Brady it's a tough task, but he's done it twice in the Super Bowl. Knowing that organization, has the mindset of winning, that's what they want to do, would be, a blessing. If I got the opportunity to go there and sit behind him for 1 or 2 or even 3 years and just learn everything that I could, grabbing him whenever I had a question, and hopefully he would answer it for me, and just seeing what he does on and off the field would be really big for myself.
Do you think it would be difficult to convince teams that you've improved that accuracy kind of at this stage of the process?
I don't think so. Obviously, I'm going to come out and throw tomorrow, and hopefully I get to have a good showing at Pro Day. I plan on it. Hopefully that kind of eliminates some of the questions, but without live bullets and live action coming at you, we're not going to find that out until game time situation. So that whether that be in mini camp or any of those events leading up to this season, but I'm extremely confident in myself, and we're working on it, and there's no doubt in my mind that we'll figure it out.
What do you want to show in the workouts here at the Combine?
Obviously that I can run well, I can jump well, I can throw well, and when I get in the meeting rooms, I can show how much I know football, how much I love football, type of person that I am, and hopefully coaches can get the grasp of that.
When you say you're the best, you think you're the best quarterback here, does that parlay to an expectation that you'll be taken number 1? You expect to be taken number 1 if you think you're the best quarterback here?
I think that there's kind of misconception with the whole thing. You know, sometimes the best quarterbacks aren't the guys that are taken number one. You know, I think depending on the situation of what that team needs, that's the quarterback that they want. And you can look in the past few drafts. You know, it doesn't always turn out that the number one quarterback is going to be this great player who, you know, leads your team to multiple Super Bowls and ends up in the Hall of Fame. That's just not how it is. You know, getting drafted is only the start of your NFL career, and that has no impact on how you finish it. It's, you know, going to be determined on how hard you work after you get drafted, and I, you know, intend to work extremely hard.
Do you want to go to Cleveland number one?
I mean, it's every kid's dream to be drafted number one. I think Cleveland's got, you know, things going in the right direction. They got all the pieces, a lot of draft picks early on, a lot of cap space to go get guys in free agency. So I definitely think that it's a good spot to be in if you're fortunate enough to be taken by them, whether it be at 1 or 4. You know, I definitely would embrace that opportunity to be the number 1 overall pick. Obviously, that every quarterback would love to be that. You know, it's no different for me.
Are you okay with sitting if you're picked by Cleveland? They ask you to sit in your first year.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely okay with any scenario that's getting thrown my way. You know, I've had a lot of adversity throughout my college career and high school career, so, you know, sitting would obviously be different. You know, it's something that I've never done, but obviously getting in practice situations, you're not going to get many reps and start developing a plan how you're going to continue to get better with those limited reps, and that's staying after practice, grabbing somebody from the scout team and throwing for an extra 25-30 minutes. And then that's, you know, learning as much in the offense as you can in the offseason, and, you know, leading up, helping whoever the starter is, and at the same time learning yourself.
Do you plan to attend the draft?
Yeah, I'm hoping to. Yes,
Was
sir.
the second half of the Senior Bowl almost like a relief to you? There were reports that, you know, the first couple days of practice didn't go as well, and then you started connecting. You left that?
Yeah, I mean, that was live football, and we're playing against some of the top competition, you know, in the country. So it was a great opportunity. The Reese's Senior Bowl, you know, put on for me. I was super blessed and excited to attend that. You know, it's a place where a lot of really great football players have gone and shown their skills and gone on to, you know, have successful careers. Yeah, but I was definitely relieved that I, you know, performed the way I did. You know, I expect to perform that way anyway. So just to go out there and kind of, you know, complete the ball at a higher percentage and show everybody that, you know, I've been working on things and things are improving.
How was working with the Broncos staff there, and how could you see yourself potentially fitting in with that group?
You know, they got a great coaching staff, and I say that, you know, with true words. You know, they got the right things going on. Obviously, they've won a Super Bowl within the last few years. They know how to win. And, you know, if I was fortunate enough to land there, whether it's at 5 or wherever they were to draft, you know, I think it's a very good spot to be in. I think they got a lot of playmakers on offense. Obviously, that defense is going to be really good for a long time still. And the coaching staff has the right mindset, and I think I would, you know, be a good fit there.